when the worst is expected for another? There is a difference between recognizing that an unfavorable consequence is probable and becoming inwardly invested in that consequence occurring. This reflection concerns the latter. It concerns the expectation accompanied by ill will, satisfaction, or a desire to see another person brought low. When a person is inwardly invested in the worst occurring for another, that expectation does not first testify about the person being watched. It testifies about the condition from which the watcher is watching. To expect the worst for another is to be intimately involved with that expectation, to carry it as a consequence. And as addressed in my previous reflection, what does consequence inherently follow? Condition, a mode or state of being. The expectation of another's worst outcome is not evidence of the other person's inferiority. It is evidence that an inferior condition has found expression in the one doing the expecting. The expectation is familiar to the condition from which it emerged. It bears witness to that condition, being the consequence, the fruit of the seed sown. This cuts directly to the heart of existential philosophy and psychology, the deep, often subconscious alignment between a person's external interpretation and their internal state of being. It also helps explain why we sometimes internalize the behavior of others. We witness someone's action or reaction towards another person and think, if they expect the worst for that person, they are probably capable of expecting the worst for me. But what another expects for someone else's information about their condition, it is not an identity that we are required to assume. It is not a destiny we are required to inherit. What was sown within them was cultivated. To cultivate is to devote special attention to the development of something. But what was cultivated was not knowledge. It was a belief mistaken for knowledge, a projection studied until it felt like reality. It wasn't truth. It wasn't reality. It wasn't what was existent in the person being observed. It was not their condition. And when the condition has been misunderstood, the consequence can be surprising. Surprise carries an older sense of being overtaken or seized unexpectedly, and this brings to mind usurp, to wrongfully appropriate, to occupy a position without right. The false belief had usurped the position of truth. It had been exercising authority it never rightfully possessed. So the reparation, the act or process of making amends for wrongful appropriation, must begin by recognizing that the belief was not in conformity with truth. The first act of reparation is to remove falsehood from the position of authority it wrongfully occupied. Our mode, our state of being, our condition requires correction when it bears strange fruit. Being emotionally aligned with another person's worst outcome bears witness to that need for correction, regardless of whether we believe the other person deserves what we expect for them. Accountability can be recognized without becoming inwardly invested in someone's destruction, and correction is better. Now, if you can agree that witnessing someone's ill will towards another puts you on notice about that person's condition and about the kind of consequence that condition is capable of carrying forward, then what does your observation say about you? It says your watch is attentive. Your paying close attention is evidence of desire for truth. And that uneasy feeling you experience while observing someone's expectation of the worst for another, that was notice, not necessarily prophecy. Notice. It does not announce that their expectation for someone else must become your experience. It announces that you have observed a condition whose fruit should not be ignored. It's an announcement of a coming attraction. In the entertainment industry, a coming attraction is a preview. advertise to draw attention to what is coming. In this case, what you witnessed was a preview of what that person's present condition is capable of producing again. What you witnessed may not have been about you, but it was still information for you. The same moment then contains two witnesses. Their expectation bears witness to their condition. Your uneasiness bears witness to your discernment. Their fruit reflects their condition. What you cultivate in response determines yours. This is why awareness of one's present condition is crucial to observing reality. Without that awareness, we can internalize another person's behavior and begin reproducing the very condition that put us on notice. Their attitude can become ours. Their projection can become our expectation. And the image of their condition can begin appearing in us like a reflection. But discernment allows us to see the image without becoming the image. When a condition remains unseen, its consequences eventually make it visible. The consequence becomes a mirror, not to condemn us, but to reveal the change required for more favorable consequence to follow. We do well to remember what another expects from me reveals their condition. What I cultivate in response determines mine. I'm capturing my journey. Feel free to like, share, comment, and subscribe if you get the picture.